Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name, please slowly. I will recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
AE6JG.
And of course, I'm here, N6YG.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. Bill and Rizzo.
I have in the pole position AE6JG, followed by N6YG, followed by N6PGQ, and I think that was N6WLM. Is that correct?
Yep, roger that. November 6, Whiskey Lima Mike, Bill and Rizzo.
I thought I heard you. Are there any others who'd like to check in at this time?
November Romeo 6 Hotel, here's Anders.
Yeah, this is Kilo
November
Papa
6,
4,
Romeo Hotel, Anders.
Mike Delta.
So nice to hear from you.
Kilo Papa 4, Mike
Do I
Delta.
have anyone else? Carol, you out there?
This is Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta, and I have YouTube running.
I do not hear Carol. All right, so I think we should just get the ball rolling here. And James, AE6JG, that's Alpha Echo 6 Juliet Golf. Would you like to start the ball rolling for us?
Sure. Before I start, I just heard Carol on the other frequency. See if she'll check in now.
Copy that. Carol, KP4MD, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong repeater.
George and I were just talking about our little foibles along that. Okay, Carol, you're in the last position right now, currently, right after Anders. And we're going to go with AE6JG. Again, this is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. And you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net.
All right, I'm going to do tone first.
Clear as a bell.
All right, this is PD 120.
This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. I'm going to start in reverse order on comments. So KP4MD, what do you think's going on here?
Okay, this is KP4MD. Oh, yeah, am I talking? Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, the picture came through very well. It's I would say it almost looks like a black and white picture, but has a little bit of a beige tint to it, and it looks like a model of some building. Or it could be an actual building picture from outer space. I mean, from up in the air, and it's looking down on this building, and you see what looks like pine trees on all sides of it, and something like a road. I'm thinking this is some kind of a model. That's all I can think, because it just looks so perfectly laid out, and it's all just so monotone. Yeah, there looks like an oval roadway and maybe a parking lot in the upper right-hand corner, and then from that, like a kind of a paved path meanders through the trees up to the upper left-hand corner, and interesting building with multiple like towers and different levels, and very good copy though. Maybe just about half a dozen pixel pops, but they're hardly noticeable. So back to you. It's KP4MD.
KP4MD, Kilo India 1 Tango Tango. Thank you. Thanks very much. N6NA Anders, what do you think?
I received a really good picture. Very few disturbances in it. Very clean looking, and like Kara said, it looks like some kind of model from above. Probably a model. It looks like a huge mansion-type style building, or maybe a hospital or something. Actually, my theory here is it's from the intro of my favorite TV show, Game of Thrones. I think this is a snapshot of Game of Thrones. We're just missing the blood pouring down the different levels of this thing here, and it's kind of weird that they have cars. I don't think they had that in the TV show, but yeah, some kind of model it looks like the oval shaped road up on the top right corner almost looks like it's above ground. It almost looks like paper on top of a model base. So yeah, I would say it's a model of some form, or maybe it's an electron microscope picture. Or it's just James' upgrade from his Airstream. This is his new mansion. NR6H, back to net.
N6RH, that's funny. Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Okay, look, we're going to pass it back to AE6JG. What do you have going on here?
Well, as some of you know, I was traveling in Colorado this past week, and we were in Boulder, and this is a model that they have on display of the National Center for Atmospheric Research, which we went to. I was in that building. It's at about 5,500 feet in the middle of the woods. This building was designed by the famous architect I.M. Pei, and this is the model that he built. I think this was probably done in the mid or late 1960s, but again, this is the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder, Colorado. It was very cool. We went in, and the first 2 floors are open. You can just walk in, and they have these great exhibits for kids. Some third grader grabbed us and gave us a tour of all kinds of things. So I'll have more pictures over the next few weeks, but it was very cool, and if you're ever in Boulder, I recommend going there. AE6JG, back to you. Thanks, Jen, for running the net. And Anders, no, it's not my new Airstream.
AE6JG Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. That's a great story. I love that. I also like Anders thinking it was Game of Thrones, well, not even truthfully thinking that. But anyway, George, N6YG, November 6, Yankee Golf. Would you like to send an image now?
Well, I think I have one spooled up and ready to go. The image I wanted to send, I can't find, and I found it, but that's because it ended up getting saved on my hard drive as a GIF, and I don't have the energy to convert it right now, so I'm going to send this picture instead. And I'm on the 9700. I'm having some issues with SSTV and the keying of this radio. The only program that is giving me difficulty. Everything else works fine, but this one just is not playing nice. So I have to kind of force it. We're going to see what happens here. Might miss the top half of it. It receives great. Got all the ISS images great. So tonight I'm on the 9700 and the Heil Pro headset. Hopefully it sounds good.
Okay, this is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arcs. Slow Scan TV Net starts at 9 p.m. on 441.300. All right, let's go up to November 6th, Whiskey Lima Mike. Bill, what have we here?
It looks like a picture of, I think, George with a horse. There's more to it, though, than that, I think. In the background, I see vertical lines that look kind of like an antenna farm, maybe. They go awfully high up into the sky. Maybe it's just my copy, but I think there might be some antennas back there. I can see a house behind that, a car. In the bottom left, there's a bag of something, probably feed for the horse. And the gentleman petting the horse, which it's a nice brown horse, and looks like he's pretty big. I see that George is using YONIQ, which is like that's the other version of SSTV, which I attempted to use. I might switch back. Good copy here, though. Not too many pixel pops, but pretty good. For George's transmissions, though, this is quite a few pixel pops, just comparing the two to the 9700. But otherwise, a very good copy here. N6WLM, back to that.
sorry, W6WLM. Let's go to Bob, November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec.
Well, I don't have much more to add. The picture, since the horse and guy are in the shadows, isn't well defined, but there are very few pixel pops that you can see across the horse's neck and the black shirt and shorts. Real good copy. I'm going to be interested to see what's going on. N6PGQ.
N6PGQ, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. Thanks very much for your additional comments. George, November 6, Yankee Golf, N6YG. Tell us what's going on here.
Well, we'll start with that the new version of MMSTV, the YONIQ, is not playing nice with the 9700. It uses what I forgot what the cat control that it uses. I forgot the name of the software that it uses to key the radio, but it doesn't quite work right. Let me see if I can remember what it's called. I don't know why he chose. Oh yeah, OmniRig. He chose OmniRig. I like the previous way that MMSTV handled the keying of the rig. You could either do a hardware keying, RTS to ground or something like that. That seems the fastest. The cat control from this is very slow. I hit the button to transmit and I wait and I'll see it start sending and then the radio finally keys up. So that's an OmniRig thing. Every other program works great. I was using Sound Modem with APRS today, testing it, with a UISS, and it was instantaneous. The turnaround was very fast. The turnaround is the unkey time, which is kind of important in packet and how fast the radio unkeys. And so it was working real good, but MMSTV, or the new version, this is not working as well as it should. It's just, it's not playing well. And that's, as far as the picture is concerned, that's me and Stewie. That was my horse. And we were barbecuing. That's a bag of charcoal, by the way. And Stewie he was my buddy. He was more like a pet dog than a horse. He would hang around me all the time, and he was coming over to. He pushes his head into me, and he just kind of like sits there and just wants to be pet. And so I was barbecuing. I remember this day. I had a brisket on the barbecue, and I think this was 4th of July. And in the background, you see an antenna mast. That's that military antenna mast that you rotate up. And on that, there is two antennas. There's a 10-meter 5/8 wave ground plane at 50 feet, and then hanging off a bar is a doublet that I was using as well. So that's kind of the background on that image. So, but yep, that's Stewie. N6YG, back to net.
N6YG, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. Thanks so much for that. Lovely horse. All right, we're going to move down to Bob, N6PGQ, November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. Are you ready to send an image? This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. N6PGQ, thanks for sending that image. N6YG, George, what do you think's going on here?
Of course, it sends it to me on this picture. Well, I see an old phone. I'm not going to go into a whole description on it. It's got me kind of confused. I've got quite a few, there's quite a few lines across it, like interference lines. But I think that might be on my end because I'm still configuring this radio. And there's a little bit of a slant to begin with, but overall, the picture came over really well. And I see what looks like a nice woodwork. That's what I see when I see this picture. I see wood. I used to love doing woodwork. That was one of my big hobbies. I used to build furniture. That's how I used to relax. That led me into building aquariums. I ran a business for many years building aquariums. But I used to love doing woodwork, and then wood got really expensive. So I went into metalwork. Working with aluminum was cheaper. All right, back to net.
N6YG Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Just so you know, I have quite a few lines across mine as well. We're going to go up to AE6JG, Alpha Echo 6, Juliet Golf. James, what do you think we have here?
This is James in Gold River, AE6JG. I have the lines as well, so it's not just you, George. Well, this is either the embargoed but found iPhone 17 for 2024, or it's something that Anders is making that he'll be selling all over the world anytime soon. I actually have good copy except for the lines. It came through beautifully. AE6JG, back to you, Jen.
Green Acres.
That's funny. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. So, Bob, tell us what's going on with your phone and the two dressers and the lines going across the screen.
Well, there shouldn't be lines going across the screen. I may have not sent it as well as I have in the past. Anyway, it was about 10 minutes to 8, and my wife said, "Do you have a picture for tonight?" And I went, "Oh, no, it's Wednesday." So I said, "Well, what do you think we could do?" And she said, "Oh, well, why don't you go in and just take a picture of the phone that's in there and send it." So I did. Now, I didn't have time to yank it from between the two dressers that are sitting there. So it is a good old Western Electric phone, or phone, and it doesn't have the standard earpiece. This is my brother-in-law's, and he must have lost it. And it's just a regular single earpiece, high impedance earphone that he used with the phone, and he used it to connect between the garage and the house. So there should be another one somewhere, but we can't find it. Anyway, that's my phone, and that's the story. N6PGQ.
That's very cool, N6PGQ. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. We're going to move on to N6WLM, November 6, Whiskey Lima Mike. Are you ready to send an image, Bill?
I am. Here's a quick tone.
Copy.
This is November 6 Whiskey Lima Mike. It's going to be a PD-120 and a little spooky.
Bill, the N6WLM, thanks so much for the copy. KP4MD, Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta. Carol, what do you think we have here?
Very interesting juxtaposition of a whole bunch of different articles there. I see a couple of candelabras in the background. Oh, okay, that looks like that's in a glass case. And there's on the right side, look, some kind of a metal urn type of whatever that is. I'm not sure what that is. In the foreground, there's the top half of a baby doll with what looks like a nest on top of its head, and I don't know if there was just some flowers in there. And the what's below the baby, it's on top of this old looks like an AC/DC radio, old tube type, and the letters "I dig the radio," I believe. And that radio is on top of some kind of a box with little compartments there, 4 by 6. Quite a, I don't know, it's real interesting. And then in the very top middle, it looks like there's a skeleton's hand touching. I'm not sure what that is. There's something black there, and then there's maybe a couple of legs, skeleton legs there sticking out there to the right of the baby's head. Probably some kind of a scene from a Halloween type of display. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
KP4MD, Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Thanks so much for the input. I just want to check out there and see if there's anybody else that wants to check into the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net. Do we have anybody else that would like to join us? All right. N6RH, Anders, November 6th, Romeo Hotel. What else would you like to add to Carol's commentary?
So I also received a good picture with pops spread out evenly across the whole image. Nothing too remarkable there, but the image is certainly remarkable. I'd say so. Second, everything that Carol said. I want to add that all the way out to the right, we can see a doormat, and I can't really tell if we're on the outside of the house or the inside of the house, but it looks like the house entrance is right there, all the way to the right. So maybe this was outside the house, and then this glass container here was put out as it's certainly a mix of things. I also see a very heavy chain, rusty chain on all the way to the left in the picture here, behind the doll inside of the glass there. And yeah, the doll looks like a very early version of the Terminator with its eyes there. I don't think the Terminator painted his nails though, but yeah, if nothing else, weird. NR6H. Actually, NR6H. Maybe make a note there. Back to Nets.
Slightly dyslexic here. Thanks so much. NR6H. I keep wanting to say N6, probably because of George's. Anyway, thanks, Anders, NR6H, for your comments. That made me look at it a little more carefully. It makes me think of Dias de las Muertas. So, Bill, November 6th, Whiskey Lima, Mike, what's going on in your picture?
Yeah, a lot is going on. This is a very weird scene, and I was very weirded out to see it. So, to paint the picture, we were at the Grass Valley Brew Fest, which is an outside event where breweries and other local food vendors in Grass Valley, they close down the entire street, and you walk the street and consume food and other beverages. It's a fun time, and what's unique about it is the shops are open as you do this, so you could go from shop to shop and see the insides, mostly antiques and other things. This antique store, they had Halloween was in full effect. This is October 14th when I took this picture, and this was their big draw you into their their store item. This is some baby that she digs the radio, I suppose. So I saw that, and I had to snap a photo. The radio, I don't know if you guys could read it. It's a Gilfian. I think it's a model 56B is my guess, but I don't know. But I thought this was very interesting, very on point for Halloween, and we were just one day past, so I had to share it with you guys. Anyways, enjoy. N6WLM back to net.
Thanks very much, Bill. W6WLM, N6WLM, Kilo India 1 Tango Yankee. So we're going to move down to NR6H, November Romeo 6 Hotel, Anders. Are you ready to send a picture?
Thank you so much. Certainly are. And let's see if this becomes MR90.
Kilo India 1 Tango Yankee, NR6H. That was a good copy from my end. Let's go up to N6PGQ, November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. Bob, what do you see here?
Well, we see a plot on a scope, and it shows a big dip. There are a few probes in the front, and looks like a probe box or a parts box on the left. The repeater ID hit it right about in the middle. Says N6NA SSTV Net in the back. Kind of cute that it's tied into the backdrop. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what's being tested in 6PGQ.
AI6DG.
Joel. AI6DG. I'll put you at the bottom of the list, and thanks for joining us.
I've been here all along and checked in. I take it you didn't get me. That's why I spoke up. It didn't seem like you did.
No, not at all. I didn't hear you at any point until just now. So thank you very much. I'm putting you right below Carol, and I'm going back up to George for comments.
Oh, this looks like Siglet at tracking generator and spectrum analyzer with a tracking generator. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing it. I spent quite a bit of today mowing property, and my eyes are stinging and burning. Allergies, I guess. Damn mower broke down again. Anyhow, he's tuning. That looks like a return loss dip. If I get my eyes to focus, looks like a return loss dip. So he's RG400 maybe on the coax. What looks like at least one line of RG400. coming out. So, working on a repeater, I think. Maybe. Tuning something on a repeater. I'm gonna let, I'm not gonna spoil it. Go ahead, N6YG. I could be wrong. I have no idea.
N6YG, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. Yeah, I see a tray full of adapters and a cable going off the back, and then the two cables coming off the front, and a little rack off to the right side. So, Anders, let's hear what's going on here.
Yeah, this was a weekend project here. This is prepping for the big upgrade on the west side of the valley here. We're going to upgrade that repeater. So this is a joint project between River City and North Hills. And what you're looking at here is my attempt, together with Chris N6ICW, to tune the cavity filters to make sure that we have enough bandwidth, but still narrow enough to work, but enough bandwidth to actually support both frequencies, both 14519 and 14525 at the same time with the same filter. So we're trying to do that here, and we're getting pretty close. Fun detail here in the picture is the rod that is on the front of the picture that's actually picked apart as you see it. The little thing on the first thing there with the narrow rod that comes out that goes into that bigger tube, and that is a stub. It's really a coax stub essentially, and you tune it by pulling the dielectric, which you see as the kind of transparent whitish material that is all the way down at the bottom of that bigger tube there. You're pulling that in and out to tune that stub. So just an interesting way of tuning a stub, I thought, to pull the dielectric in and out. So that's what we're doing here. We're getting pretty close to 80 dB separation here between what you're looking at on the tracking generator. George was absolutely right. That's what we're doing here. The tracking generator is showing the dip to the left is the attenuation of the receive, and the plateau up to the right is the letting through, passing through the transmit. So we're looking at the transmit side of the filter right now. So that's what we're doing, and yeah, working on this, trying to make it work, to prep it so that we can just go up to the hill and slap it up and make it work for many, many years. That's the plan. So just wanted to share that. And NR6H, back to net.
Question.
Go ahead, question.
Anders, is that the Siglet? I can't quite tell. I'm looking at the top. It looks like maybe. The Siglet spectrum analyzer with the tracking generator?
Yeah, Roger, it's the Siglet. I don't remember the exact model, but it's a tracking generator and VNA and all kinds of functions in the same device. So it's a spectrum analyzer and the VNA all in one. So that is absolutely correct.
Very interested. Yeah, I've looked at this numerous times, several other models, thinking about picking one up. So it's got the resolution you need for tuning cavity filters. I was wondering if it would work, because I mean, you know, the general what am I thinking? The normally accepted, everybody likes the Aeroflex for tuning cavity filters. Is this working?
It does. With some tweaking, you can squeeze out about 100 dB out of it. So it's actually working quite well for the. We can get about 80 dB out of these filters. So that's what they're designed for. So yeah, but it's definitely sufficient, and it's fast enough to make it easy to tune. So yeah, it works well for what we're doing. And R6H.
Good. I was very interested to hear that. All right, back to net N6YG.
Thanks very much, NR6H. We're going to move down to KP4MD. Are you ready to send an image, Carol?
Yeah, I'm ready to send a picture. And by the way, that spectrum analyzer is the one that you saw up on the top of my rack here when you were over here, Jen. It's a N6NA SSTV 3021X. Have one exactly like it. and he recognized it immediately. Yeah, and that's the kind of curve you get when you're adjusting a cavity for a repeater. Thank you very much. This is going to be PD 120.
KP4MD, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. That's a lovely image. We're going to go down to AI60G. Joel, what do you see here?
A astronomy picture background with a logo in the upper right. I can't quite read it out. What is it? 3HEP something it might be in Cyrillic. RSOISS on the upper left. Down below, amateur satellite, more Cyrillic. 1/2 TAN USHA/SWSU 1/2 launch August 17, 2017. And N6WML 595DEKB4MD. And a couple of pictures above that. A small one about a third of the way across in the middle on the left, and it's a guy standing in front of a couple of screens. One's a world map, and the other one's like I don't know what's on the left. I see a bunch of blue and some printout. A chair sitting in front of a table behind the guy, and he's holding what I guess is a small microsatellite, not a CubeSat. It's the wrong shape, but it's not much bigger than a CubeSat. Likewise, the guy on the left, way too much in the background behind him. Laptops on stands, a piece of electrical equipment, a big circle, and again he's holding a couple of bigger satellites. I'm assuming. Oh, the one in his right hand looks like it's got a dish and a tape measure dipole on it. So I would guess this is a slow scan received from ISS. Back to Net AI60G.
AI60G, Joel, thanks so much for your comments. It's an interesting picture. AE6JG, Alpha Echo 6, Juliet Golf, James. What do you think we've got here?
Well, I saw different versions of this. I think Bill got this too. Somebody did when we were at Pacificon, I think, or maybe I was in Colorado. It's all blurring together now. I think this is pretty cool from the Russian side of the space station. In terms of the quality of the transmission, I have the ID band in the bottom quarter, and but the colors come through pretty well. But I do have pixel pops throughout, but it's definitely possible to see what we're looking at here. I'm interested to know if we know any more about the devices they're holding, which I guess is listed there on the bottom. Back to you, Jen, AE6JG.
Thanks, James. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, and you're listening to the River City Arc's Slow Scan TV Net. KP4MD, tell us what's going on here.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. This was one of the images that I captured from the ISS pass on Halloween. It was October 31st, and the time was 10:33 Zulu, which would be 3:33 in the morning. It's actually one of the better pictures that I captured just using the J-pole and the FT 8800 through the signal link. So yeah, those are the Tunisia 1 and 2 Russian satellites, and I actually posted a link on the YouTube chat. If you go there, it'll explain to you more that these were set for activation back in 2017. They were actually hand launched from the ISS by the astronauts. I guess they just opened the back door and threw the satellites out, or gently pushed them out. And they were doing FM transmissions, downlinking to 145.800. And I guess they had an uplink on 437.050. And it said that the transmissions, I'm not sure if those are still active or not, but these were one of the whole series of satellites that the ISS was sending pictures of during this Slow Scan TV event, going far back as the Sputnik. So they were celebrating all of the different amateur satellites over the years. So thought I'd share it just to show you how good this must have been a pretty high pass, because there was absolutely no fading on this picture. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Very good picture, Carol. I was just looking at the ARISS SSTV archive, and I don't see any images from you, Carol, in their archive. You need to submit this. Google ARISS SSTV archive, and then submit the picture for their archive. And they will most likely accept that picture. I have that same one. I copied it automatically. I just left the radio running, and it came over beautifully. So the neat thing about this, if you Google ARISS SSTV archive, you can filter by call sign. So if you put Carol's call sign, put my call sign in there, you'll see the images that we've submitted to the Ares project for their archive and the ones that they've accepted over the years. And or you can see the images that they've that have been accepted through this last project. So, and I think you can get. I'm not sure if they're doing it for this event, but there's a certificate or a QSL card or something. I'm not sure if you can get it for this event. We might have to ask Dave about that. They say that there's certain events that they don't issue certificates for. MIA events, maybe. I'm going off memory, so we'd have to find out for sure. But if you upload a picture to the archive that you've captured, you qualify for a certificate or a QSL card, N6YG.
Copy that, N6YG. Thanks so much. All right, we're going to move down to the bottom of the table here, AI6DG, Alpha India 6, Delta Golf. Joel, are you ready to send your picture? Joel, do you copy?
How's to get back to the microphone? Hang on, let's see if I got tone.
Copy that.
PD 120.
AI6DG, got a good copy from here. That looks lovely. I'm going to move up to KP4MD. Carol, what do you see here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's KP from the. I figured you would throw this at me. This is interesting. I see a DC barrel connector up in the upper right hand corner. A multi-turn trim pot, the blue thing to the left of that. Bunch of surface mount components. Big can in the upper left hand corner. Those things are usually some kind of a crystal oscillator, perhaps temperature control compensated, or I don't know if it's an oven one. It doesn't look big enough. But to the down on the lower left-hand corner, I see a couple of SMA jacks on the PC board with covers on them, and the one on the left says out TTL, and then the other one says out, and I can't quite read what's after the TTL there. And then to the right of that second SMA is on the board reads frequency cal, freak cal. I really can't make out too much else of this. It looks like some kind of a frequency reference board for perhaps a radio or something. Over to Nets, KP for MD.
KP4MD, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. All right, I'm going to move up to November Romeo 6 Hotel. Anders, what do you see here?
So I received a good picture again. Few pops, not much at all, and I have a repeater ID right in the middle. We have a little tiny PCB board on a wooden background, so it's got a glare in the middle of the PCB board there, but it's a small board, I would say a few centimeters across. For you Americans, that would be maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe wide, something like that. And to the right side of the board is clearly the power supply part. There's a LM2040 switcher there with I think it's a switcher, and there are some capacitors and stuff there. And then there's this big can that Carol mentioned, which is clearly an oscillator. And there are two outputs for whatever this board is producing. So I would say it's a frequency reference for sure. It's putting out something known and using that for some other circuit to know what the frequency is. That's what it is. NR6H, back to net.
NR6H, thanks so much. This is Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. You're listening to Slow Scan TV Net, River City Arcs, and we started at 9 o'clock. And we're going to go back to AI6DG. Joel, tell us what you got here.
Yeah, projects tend to lead to others. So it was nice and simple. Ooh, at the swap meet down in Pacificon. Hey, look at that nice little frequency counter. $30, I've got myself a frequency counter. Unfortunately, it's a nice HP one, 5334A. And it's even got a time base in it, but it doesn't have the oven high precision option in it. So it's just like a simple little crystal oscillator that's on the main board. And it's HP, so it's probably pretty accurate and pretty stable. But I'm hoping that a couple of these time-based frequency standards, like I pictured, and unfortunately the image is a little bit out of focus. But I'm hoping this, even though it's only $20, is going to be a bit more stable and accurate than a simple crystal oscillator in an HP frequency counter from the 80s. We'll find out. I got two of these because I've also got an even older frequency counter that's Nixie tube based that I think the only thing wrong with it, or at least last time I had it out, the only thing wrong with it was it didn't have a time base. So maybe I can get two frequency counters out of this. It's interesting how much the technology has changed. How does the accuracy of a $20 frequency standard nowadays compared to the ovens they put in test gear 30, 40 years ago? And it's supposed to get out TTL, out sign. You can feel the metal can getting hot when I power it up, and the regulator chips gets very hot on 12 volts. So I'm gonna try powering this off of the minimum voltage for it, which is about 7 volts. I imagine it'll be a lot less hot. Back to net, AI6DG.
AI6DG. Thanks so much, Joel. That was really interesting. Folks, we've gone through everybody on the net now and honoring our 10 o'clock time period. Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns before I roll this net out the door?
Yeah, KP from MD.
We'll start with James and then go to Carol. James?
Jen, if you have the picture, you should send it now.
Oh, no. It's 10. I'm pushing my edge. Thank you, though.
N6YG.
Carol's next, and then George.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is KP4MD. I just want to tell you, Joel. I looked this thing up. Googled that picture, and it is an oven-controlled crystal oscillator. I didn't realize they make ovens that small. And being it's going to be an oven in there, it's always going to be hot when you touch it. and it's got to reach that certain particular temperature to maintain the frequency. And I hope this works for you. It's not going to be as good as a GPS discipline oscillator, but be perhaps the next best thing. And it's pretty reasonable, $20. They have them on Amazon too. Back to Nets, KP for MD.
KP4MD, Kilo India 1, Tango Tango Yankee. Thanks so much for the ID. George and N6YG.
Oh, I don't have anything other than a closing image for to close the net down.
All right, you send your last image, and then I will close the net. Thanks so much, George. That's appropriate. That's all, folks. So with that image from George, which came through quite nicely, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who participated in tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. And I hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. And the net is officially closed at 10:07 p.m. This is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee, Jen in Sacramento, wishing all of you a good evening, and I'll catch you probably over the weekend. So good night. 73s from me, and I'm on to my next chore. So good night.